Hey everybody, this is KZ and welcome to the first video in my E3 2018 coverage. Of course, as you know, I like to stream reactions of all of the press conferences that they end up doing, all the main ones at least, and that's exciting, but you know what really makes it exciting? Setting the pace, doing some predictions for each one to give you guys an idea of what I think is going to happen going into it, and it's also fun because typically, you're 100% wrong, so let's see how wrong I was. We can compare and contrast. Of course, everything starts tomorrow on Saturday afternoon with the first and only press conference of that day. It's EA. My friends, like ripping off a Band-Aid. We start with Electronic Arts. Their conferences are always terrible. A lot of it comes from the fact that they feel like they're trying their very best to not entertain the people watching. And a lot of the time, they don't have the most interesting of games. This generation's mainly just been, hey, we got Star Wars, we got sports games, and we're going to kill Mass Effect on the stage. And sometimes, they don't even have the Star Wars games ready. And they just show you, here's some behind-the-scenes nonsense, because we have nothing of relevance to show to you. So, I'm not going to be negative here. I'm going to give you what I expect. I feel like they're going to come out on stage. I don't know who specifically, but they are going to talk around the Star Wars Battlefront 2 situation that happened in December, in which they went into that PR nightmare of the loot boxes, the pay-to-win nonsense. And they're going to say things like, we are always trying to do the best by our players. And they're going to say a lot of that fluff where you can easily read it as, I know they screwed up and they're trying to save face, in a way. As a part of that, I don't expect them to talk about loot boxes or any microtransaction related stuff at all. And I feel like they're going to really push not having a season pass on their major games. Like Battlefield 5, for example, doesn't have one. So they're really going to hammer it home that you will always be able to play with your friends and we will not gate your content that way. Of course, afterward, you'll probably hear about some sneaky things they're going to be doing with those games, but they are very scared, I'd like to say. I'd like to say that they're like, we need to not develop any bad press from this. I expect them to show sports games, because of course they do. I'm hoping, and I expect at least one of those games will have a story mode in it. Like they did some of the FIFA stuff, had a story mode that went with the Alex Hunter over the past couple of years, and they also had the Madden story mode. Those at least make it interesting to watch the sports segments, because it's more than just, hey look, it looks a little bit better, because I don't really care for realistic sports games that much. They will probably show Respawn's newest project, probably a Star Wars related thing, because I don't think anyone else working on a Star Wars game has anything ready, and I feel like, I don't know if Titanfall will actually continue or not, after they attempted to kill it, like, what, 1-2 years ago? So, I'm expecting that. Anthem, they've talked about a bit. That's their Destiny-like, where you have, like, Iron Man armor, they can fly around. That looked amazing. The gameplay probably wasn't real, but it looked amazing. And I hope it at least looks close to that, and I hope that it's good. It's the one EA game I am actually interested in, and I'm just like, don't screw it up, man. I will buy it. I'll do it, man. Just come on. Like, I fell into the Destiny trap twice. I'm willing to fall into an Anthem trap. Slightly willing. It depends. Aside from that, I don't really expect much else. Maybe an EA original. Stuff like A Way Out is an example of that, where they fund some cooler indie-style games where I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. A Way Out was fantastic, by the way. So yeah, I'm expecting overall the pacing to be terrible, and it'll be fun to make fun of, and there will be at least one thing where I'm like, that was cool. I think Need for Speed is dead. I don't expect them to trot another one of those out, but I would love for them to say, Need for Speed's taking a break. Here's Burnout. Please? Please. Come on. Just go on it. That or Skate 4, but I feel like they have no interest in that. That's EA. Those are my expectations. It's probably going to be the worst press conference of the show, but whatever. Moving on, a conference I have high hopes for. It's one of the big boys, one of the big three, of course. It's Microsoft. Now, Microsoft has a lot to show. I would say that a couple of years ago at E3 2016, they had a somewhat okay show. I really hated the camera work on that one because they would always cut away at the worst moments. And that was during the year that we got the leaks about the mid-tier, like, upgrade consoles. And they came out and teased the Scorpio. And I thought it was a really cool move to be like, we're calling our shot. And then 2017 was all about the Xbox One X, the Scorpio, and how it's the most powerful console in the world. I'm doing sucking motions right now. And they did that and showed off a bunch of different games, Metro Exodus, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Those come off the top of my head. Some weird shit. But overall, I thought it was okay. But the fact of the matter was they didn't really have any true exclusive games there. And also Crackdown got shown, looked bad, and then got delayed. And turns out it got delayed again. I'd like to point out that Crackdown 3 was supposed to launch with the Xbox One X November of last year. It is not coming out till next year. That game has to be bad. That game must be falling apart. I feel like they refused to cancel it because they canceled like Fable Legends, Scalebound, and the Phantom Dust, and they're like, we can't cancel anything more. People will burn us down. That is going to be the most hotly anticipated 6.5 out of 10 you will ever play. Just saying. Moving into this show, though, I am excited to see what they show because I do want them to do well, because competition leads their competitors to work harder. And I feel like they have been making some really good moves between Games Pass, allowing you to play their exclusives at launch without having to buy them, their backwards compatibility going back through the entire history of the Xbox, and they continue to add titles to that are also appropriately priced. And in general, I think they're doing everything right. They just don't have any fucking video games that you would want to play. They have everything will look better on there, but there's not enough exclusive stuff. That's the one thing that this entire gen I feel like they haven't really been hitting on. They had some stuff in the very beginning back when Sony had nothing, but now Sony's been cranking shit out so often, and you have all the Japanese exclusives helping bolster that Microsoft can't compete. So this is the moment for them to just go ham. I expect Phil Spencer to be a delight, as he usually is. They'll probably announce another set of backwards compatible titles between OG Xbox and 360. Maybe something cool happening with Games Pass. We'll see a new Halo, we'll see a new Gears, we'll see the new Forza Horizon, and they will reveal Fable with a CG trailer to let you know what's happening. There will be at least 2 exclusive games coming to them that are decently sized. I'm willing to say AAA. Willing to say that they are going to begin, even if they're a few years off, now's the time for them to call their shot so they're in the consciousness. And I think that's fine. There will be a lot of third parties showing up there as well. I definitely expect CD Projekt Red with their Cyberpunk game to show up there. Namco Bandai usually shows stuff at Xbox, so I definitely expect to see stuff like Soul Calibur 6 to appear. And I keep feeling like, because From Software's new game, Shadows Die Twice, has not actually been shown to be an exclusive, that if it's multi-platform, they might just show it on Xbox because it's just a stronger machine. And I feel like, they did Bloodborne, maybe they want to throw a bone over to Xbox this time. So I'm thinking they may show that there. And I think that's it. We'll probably see Metro again. We'll probably see various other things that Xbox has like marketing on. Maybe Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is the new ass Creed game. And I think that is it in terms of predictions. I think they will have a better show than last year. It's going to be about 90 minutes long, or 100 minutes long, I believe, Phil Spencer said on Twitter this week. I'm excited to see what they pull out. I'm optimistic. I feel like they'll do better than last year, and I feel like they will at least try and build a bit of confidence. Oh, also, they'll show off the new Ori game, and that will look dope. I guess I should throw out a dream prediction. New Killer Instinct. Do it. Do it. Last one was great. That was one of the games that you brought out since launch and continued to get better and better and better as it went. Bring out a new Killer Instinct and pay Mick Gordon as much money as it takes to get him on that soundtrack. You need to do that. You need to do that. So, that's going to do it for the Xbox. Moving on to the next conference, that is the second one that's happening on Sunday. Bethesda. Bethesda is having another show. I'm hoping it's better than last year. They did what is essentially a Nintendo Direct, where they brought a bunch of people into a theater and then played a video. And I think Pete Hines came out at the beginning and end to talk about it. And I don't think that was very good. Another problem was we knew about everything happening. So it kind of ruined things in a way, because everything that showed up was a known quantity. So it was a bit unfortunate when it came to that. Here, we were assured by Mr. Hines that there was, in fact, going to be at least 2 things we don't know about happening at the Bethesda show. So it's my hope that we have some interesting things showing up. Of course, they're going to show us Fallout 76, which apparently is supposed to be a more survival-oriented game, and I'm going to be kind of middle of the road with it until I see what it's like, and then I'll probably come crashing down, but I'd love it to be cool. I'd like another Fallout game to play, even if Fallout 4 disappointed me by the end, but I like to stay optimistic. That's just how I am. Rage 2, not really interested in it, but it has a nice aesthetic, I guess. Maybe they'll show Prey DLC, I guess. I was hearing murmurings about that for like a year now, so maybe they'll show a little bit of that. I feel like id should be working on something. Can they give us some Doom related? I want something related to Doom real bad, because Doom, what was it? Doom 2016, fantastic game. I want to see more of that. So hopefully we get to see more. Maybe they'll do like an expansion to it, or maybe they're just working on a sequel. That would be amazing. Unless it's still all hands on deck on Quake Champions. I don't know what the fuck happened to that game. I don't know what happened to that game, because Overwatch exists, and I barely play that at this point. Regardless, that's what's a dream game from Bethesda for me? Probably New Vegas Remastered, but they don't like that game because it's better than Fallout 3, so they probably won't touch it ever again. That'd be great though. A Fallout 3 New Vegas remastered double pack, pay $60, play those on modern consoles. I still like Fallout 3 despite it being weird. It's just a feeling in those games that I get that I don't really get anywhere else, so that would be cool. Especially with all the Fallout stuff happening between, 76 and, well, that's all the Fallout stuff coming out. But you know what I mean. So, hoping that's good. Probably Elder Scrolls Online stuff will get shown. And, do they have a card game? I think they have a card game. They'll do that too. I cannot predict what their other surprises are. But, they're a publisher, so they can have other things in the tank we may not know about. So, who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, that is everything that's happening on Sunday. Devolver has a conference. I'm not going to be covering it because the last one was kind of just like a parody, and I didn't find it to be the most funny or entertaining thing in the world, because it just seemed like a overly long Adult Swim bit. So we're not going to cover it this year. I'm sure they'll have some cool reveals. They're teasing Metal Wolf Chaos. So if that happens, fucking dope. FromSoft's best game. Fuck Dark Souls, am I right? Moving on to Monday. The time has come, my friends. Bada boom! Square Enix has an E3 showcase. Now, they have said in their initial thing that this was going to be a video, so I'll assume it's the same thing. that their E3 press conference is in fact more of like a Nintendo Direct style thing, which I think would be great, because Japanese companies are a lot worse at doing conferences because they end up plodding along, they have to have a translator there. What I'm saying is the 2015 show, the last time they did an E3 press conference, was terrible, but it also had games I liked in it, so I was able to forgive it. Now, this is great. We're going to see stuff like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the Avengers game. We are going to see... what else are they working on? They might have a new Just Cause working up there. They may have the new Life is Strange. And now I've gotten that bullshit out of the way, they're going to show us some motherfucking Kingdom Hearts. They got Kingdom Hearts 3. They're going to show... I'm willing to bet they might show something from the mobile game, and then go right into Kingdom Hearts 3, the big centerpiece of the event, because that's the big AAA Japanese game that they are putting out this year. We're going to get our release date there if it doesn't happen at the concert tomorrow, Saturday night on the 9th. And it is going to show us a brand new world. I'm going to say a new summon. We will see what some of the other main characters look like Kairi and Lee. And maybe a Final Fantasy cameo in there. It's going to be a big, explosive trailer. It is going to bring me to my fucking knees. And they will also introduce some pre-order bonuses. I'm talking about overly expensive special editions you can pick up only on the Square Enix store. Maybe they'll show a little bit of the intro for Kingdom Hearts 3, because the opening song, at least the Japanese version, is releasing at the end of the month with Utada's brand new album. So I wouldn't be surprised about that. I think Final Fantasy VII is a lock. We will see the remake. Some people say, I don't know, but I don't see a possibility that Square goes, we're going to make a press conference this year and ignore their most important game, and the fact that Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out this year. So they show it here on the biggest stage. They show FF7 to go, okay, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out, you're seeing a lot of it, but here's what we have working in the background. And I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to do that. I'm sure we'll get introduced to Aerith and Tifa in some way through the trailer, and it'll show a nice mix of gameplay and cutscenes. So that should be exciting. It'll be interesting to see how different things look. We had seen screenshots of the game last year, so we know that they did have some stuff done there, and there's a screenshot during a job posting thing online for FF7 that showed the Airbuster in the background on like an off-screen photo, so work is definitely being done when it comes to that game, and I think it's doing a lot better than a lot of people would think. But yeah, we'll see all their Western games that I mentioned before, Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I'm going to throw a long shot and say they're doing a Final Fantasy 13 HD trilogy for current consoles. I don't think it'll hit Switch, though. I don't think it'll hit Switch. And if it does, it will hit late. That's just my prediction, because I don't know. I feel like whoever they're farming it out to will have too much difficulty with it, or maybe they will, and it's just later. We'll see. That's my predictions for Square Enix. It'll probably be my favorite one of the show, because Kingdom Hearts 3 will probably make me cry or something. We'll see. This is of course happening on that Monday, first conference of that day. Number 2 for that day, of course, Ubisoft. Ubisoft was pretty much my favorite conference last year, because it was a lot of fun. It was one of the few times where you actually saw some heart with the people doing the conference. There's a lot of enthusiasm, whether it was Yves Guillemot with Miyamoto, like playing with the rabid blasters on stage, or you would see at least 2 different developers crying when their games were being presented. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a thing happening. Skull and Bones looked interesting. Assassin's Creed never looked more interesting than it did during this E3. Mario and Rabbids, the thing that people thought was a stupid idea, turned out to be awesome. And, yeah, in general, it just seemed really good. The crew was shit, but I don't really care about it. I just had no interest. It was really good last year. This year, though, I'm thinking we're going to see more of... What the fuck is that thing's called? Starlink? It was the Toys to Life game where you would put like a spaceship on your controller, and you could replace the parts, and it would replace the parts of the ship in the game. We'll see more of that because they teased that. They will show off Elijah Wood's game, Transference, I believe it's called, which was a VR game. We will see that. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. We will also see the return of Splinter Cell, because, I don't know, they were teasing it a little bit in Wildlands, and there was those listings on Amazon, and I think even Walmart for a game for that. And I feel like the time is right to bring it back after Blacklist came out, like, back last generation, even. So, time is right for that. And, Prince of Persia's dead. I think that's all off the top of my head that I can think of, like Beyond Good and Evil, Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, and all that. I feel like there will be, I want there to be one UbiArt game. One UbiArt related game to be shown there that will look cool. And that'll probably hit all the consoles. UbiArt engine just looks really nice. I'd love it to be Rayman, but really anything with that would be really, really nice. And you know what? I'm going to go as far as to say that in addition, they will reveal some exclusive Switch game there. They're like, hey, this is what we're working on. Because the partnership with the Rabbids thing worked well. Maybe it's not ready this year, but I'm going to hedge my bets and say they're going to have something to show that is Switch exclusive at Ubisoft show there. That's my hope. That's my hope. Overall, I have high hopes for this. They just recently avoided death by Vivendi trying to buy them out, and I'm very happy about that. So I'm excited to see what they're up to, and I hope they're full of energy, and maybe they keep Aisha Tyler away from the show. I care more about hearing about developers than a random celebrity host, but that's just me. Fuck Girlwood. Coming up at the end of Monday, the big boy, PlayStation. I love my PS4, and Sony usually is all about bringing the hype. So here is what they're going to be showing. Of course, they kind of called their shot. Their exclusives of Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, Spider-Man, and Death Stranding. All four of those were confirmed to have some stuff shown of them. I expect gameplay of Death Stranding, which will most likely make me less interested in the game, maybe? Just because those trailers, I don't feel like it can live up to the hype of those trailers they've been showing. They've been just so weird. Ghost of Tsushima looks incredibly interesting, just visually. So I'm looking forward to it. This has come from the Infamous developer, so if they have that freedom of movement and cool abilities you can use as a samurai slash a ninja slash whatever, that'll be really cool. Spider-Man is my most anticipated Sony exclusive because I love Spider-Man games, and that one looks fucking amazing. Taking the amount of suit variety of the old Neversoft Spider-Man games and web swinging that looks cooler and more fun than the Spider-Man 2 movie game. I'm in. With a AAA budget, AAA exclusive budget, let's fucking go. I'm really excited. Last of Us 2, I don't really care about. I'd say the last time they showed it was that look how edgy our game is thing, where it's like, oh man, we're gonna break this girl's arm. We're gonna make this game look super dark and grungy, and I'm like, I don't really care. I don't know. It was just like, no. Like, I enjoyed Uncharted to a good amount, but The Last of Us just doesn't really catch my interest. To other people like it, perfectly fine, just not my thing. Now, what makes PlayStation interesting is there is a good chance there are plenty of other third parties that can appear there. And I kind of like lumped a lot of the ones I'm thinking of over on Xbox, but some of them could appear at Sony as well. Well, here's my prediction. It's based on a lot of people murmuring about it, and it's that DMC5, Devil May Cry 5, and Resident Evil 2's remake that was long since confirmed by them years ago will both appear there. My other prediction is that DMC5 will get a demo that you can play at play after the event. It'll be a short thing, I would assume. And both of those games are slated to come out next year. They'll put out DMC5 at the beginning of the year, and they'll put up Resident Evil 2's remake probably around October. Something in time for Halloween, and they'll both look amazing. And we will go And we'll be in that mode of like, man, Sony's kicking ass at E3. Not necessarily because of its exclusives, but because it showed us the things we like. I don't expect much else surprising, to be honest. They'll show those main 4, they'll show the other 2, and then it just comes down to if stuff shifted. Maybe a Kingdom Hearts trailer will be at Sony, maybe Shadows Die Twice might be at Sony, and it's all kind of like a weird guess. But overall, I think that'll be a more fun show to check out. There'll be stuff like Call of Duty there, and VR shit, and stuff I'm not necessarily into, but overall I think it'll be a decent show. It'll be enjoyable. I'm expecting it to be more like those theater experiences they've been doing, where it's very entertaining to watch, and it's a more intimate experience than the other conferences, and it just all comes down to what they can shock us with. Actually, one more prediction. Whatever Blue Point's working on next will be shown. They made the Shadow of the Colossus remake last year. They came out this year. So there are my predictions. Also Mortal Kombat 11. Moving on, we have the last thing of the show. Of course, it is Nintendo. They have rebranded their digital event to just Nintendo Direct, which is, I guess that's alright. Before it was like the digital event, and like the Switch Showcase or something, but they might as well just say, Nintendo Directs are what we do, and we're just going to label this one E3 for the people that really care and are wondering specifically what's it for. This is probably going to be like 45 minutes long. I'm going to say that at least a third of it is going to be Smash. They are going to reveal at least four characters, including the Inkling. So 3 characters they haven't shown off so far. They will show some new mode, any new mode that was not in the Wii U version. It will look better. It will look awesome. There will be some interesting thing with it that is different, and people will still try to say that it's a Smash 4.5, and that's how you know that those people need to be put in a home. We will see some small little tease. We will see some sort of trailer for the new Fire Emblem game, which will not hit this year. It will hit next year. It was initially supposed to hit this year, but we've heard nothing, so I'm going to say it's not hitting this year. Some surprise exclusive we don't know about. We will see the Star Fox racing game that is allegedly being made by Retro. We will see the new Pokemon games that they've been talking about. Some sort of Mario Odyssey DLC. That's going to be a long shot guess from me. Bayonetta 3 will have some sort of trailer. Wonderful 101 will announce an HD or just a remaster. And what else? The World Ends With You Final Remix will have a new trailer with a date. That will also show a little bit more of its new, its second story that they're adding to it, exclusive to that game. And Yoshi. They will show some more of that Yoshi game. Those are all my predictions for Nintendo. I'm gonna be honest, I was on autopilot on this entire prediction with the exception of Smash Brothers, because that's all I really care about. Give me a date for Smash Brothers that is as soon as fucking possible, so I can play this with my friends and get excited. Please have some sort of adventure mode in that game, please. I need a reason to play that alone sometimes. I need a good single-player component. Please? Come on. Also, give me Geno and Sora from Kingdom Hearts. That's it. That's all I want to say. Aside from that, we of course have a few other things happening during E3. The Devolver show, which I talked about, that I'm not gonna really be live streaming. The PC gaming show, I will decide when we're close to the event whether I'll stream it. It is happening, I believe, between the Ubisoft and Sony conference, so we might do it. It all depends if I have time that day. They're typically really bad, so, and really just not really many exciting things happening, because it's usually ports or like one exclusive game, but we'll see. We'll see. Day9 works really hard. He's a good host. But those are my expectations, my predictions for E3. The other question you may have is how we're going to do this. Well, I'm going to be streaming all of these press conferences on YouTube, so it'll be here on my YouTube channel. You just got to check your subscription feed for my stream, and I will be starting the stream every, probably about 15 minutes before each press conference starts. I'll talk a little bit about it. We'll get right into the show. We'll watch it, get my full reactions as we usually do. I will give a grade at the end. I will end the stream, and then I will put together a best of video, a supercut of all the best moments from that stream, put that up, and we'll keep doing that until Tuesday morning once the Nintendo one has concluded. That are the plans for E3. Those are my predictions. What are you most looking forward to? Let me know in the comments down below. And that's going to do it. This has been my E3 predictions video. See you tomorrow for more.